big story that is coming up tomorrow in court will be, will the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal get bail to campaign during elections? The latest that is coming in from the Enforcement Directorate side is where the ED has stated that it's not a fundamental right to campaign during elections. The latest coming in that the ED has opposed the interim bail for Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal. In an affidavit filed before the Supreme Court, the probe agency says that the right to campaign for election is not fundamental. The affidavit was filed by the central agency a day before the Supreme Court set to hear Arvind Kejriwal's interim bail plea in the Delhi liquor policy case. The probe agency is also expected to file the first charge sheet against Arvind Kejriwal in the liquor policy case. This will be the first time that Arvind Kejriwal will be named as an accused in the case. Joining me for more is my colleague Shrishti Oja. Shrishti, will you take us through on what was filed by the Enforcement Directorate today and what to expect tomorrow in court?
Well, yes, Priti, as we know, the Supreme Court is all set to hear Arvind Kejriwal's plea tomorrow and also decide whether or not he will be getting any interim bail to campaign for the upcoming elections. Now, Enforcement Directorate for the top court during the hearing opposed a grant of any interim bail to Kejriwal. Now, what's interesting is that one day before the hearing, they've also filed an affidavit. But ED on its own has filed an affidavit stating that right to campaigning for an election is not a fundamental right. It's not even a legal right. And therefore, considering no political leader till now has ever been granted interim bail on grounds of campaigning for elections, no special exception or concession should be granted to Arvind Kejriwal in this present case, because it will set a really wrong precedent. Also, what it would mean is that any politician in the future who's committed a crime or is accused of committing any offense would take the same concession, would take the same ground of contesting for elections and try to get out of jail. According to Enforcement Directorate, it is not fair for the court to create a different category, to create two categories, where one category is of ordinary men who have to follow the law, who are bound by the law, and on the other hand, the second category would be those of politicians who can seek exemptions from the same laws in the hope of securing interim bail. So ED has clearly stated that politicians earlier also have contested elections while being in judicial custody, but they were never granted interim bail because politicians cannot claim any special status higher than an ordinary citizen. According to ED, what makes Arvind Kejriwal as a politician different from, let's say, a farmer or a business person who also have to stay away from their jobs when they are behind bars? So strong claims which have come in, the strong arguments on part of ED now opposing interim bail to Kejriwal, and it's really important to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you joining us, Shrishti, with that quick update.